Here, friend is someone that checks on you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then, or I don't know, you might go and study for 1 or 2 hours together. But I don't know, in Iran, there's a traditional definition of friend that you spend a lot of time together. I haven't found a person like that.
I have a friend who sleeps 1 hour or 2 hours on average every day,
Wow.
which is scary. I- I've done
No.
I've done 2 hours for 2 hours, 3 hours on average, but for 2 months I couldn't keep doing it because I felt
Wow.
I'm dying.
I'm
Okay?
in a real weird situation right now. I'm kind of depressed because, obviously, as an Iranian, you come here, you see all of these differences, you sacrifice a lot of stuff, and at the beginning, you're not benefiting from the things that America has to offer. So, yeah, me and I think most of my friends, we're kind of depressed. I'm kind of moody when it comes to getting things done. So what I mean by that is, I don't know. It's kind of a fight between me being motivated and demotivated, and that really affects the amount of time and effort that I put into something.
It was trying to be active as much as I can.
Yeah,
For example, I was waking up in the morning, I wasn't in the mood, I was feeling tired. I was telling myself, Harry, don't think about anything. Just pick your bottle of
uh,
water, put your AirPods, and go and run. I was doing that, and it was working all the time. So
I
how
mean,
many admissions did you get at the end?
I think like 10 admissions in
Oh my
USA,
gosh.
2 admissions in Canada, and one in Europe, EPFL.
What do you think is the best strategy to increase the chance of
to
admission to schools? What if the professor does not reply to me? How many days after the first email you did send reminders if you did that? Okay, Shervin, welcome.
Thank you for
So
inviting me.
it's great to having you today in Smart Talk Series podcast, another series. So Sherwin is a student from Yale University, which is one of Ivy League schools in the US, prestigious, perfect, and it's really competitive to get into universities like Yale. So Sherwin, could you tell a little bit about more about yourself? What do you study
Um,
and when did you enter to US?
um, I study mechanical engineering. I'm a first year PhD. I just immigrated in US about 3 months ago. Yeah, exactly 3 months ago on 19th of August. So yeah, it's been a hard transition for me.
I see it's 3 months passed from your start of your
Yeah,
journey in the US.
yeah.
So how is it life in Yale? And which state is Yale? Is it in
Um,
Connecticut?
yeah, Connecticut
Okay, which
and
city you are?
New Haven. Yeah,
Okay, New Haven, one of the most expensive cities.
one of the most expensive, and the criminal rate is, yeah, very high. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. There are talks about two gangs being in West Haven. Like, there are sirens all over the place, and it's been crazy since I came here. And yeah, we receive um, emails from Yale police about these poor graduate students encountering different suspicious people. Yeah, there are stories, man.
Oh man, that's scary.
Yeah, not that much. But I mean, if you know your way around danger, yeah, you'll be fine. I don't think that it's more dangerous than Tehran, but people here have like firearms, so it makes it a bit difficult for a person coming from Iran. At the end of the day, I don't know. It's just hard to kind of cope with the fact that someone can pull out a gun.
I see.
It's
Yeah, I think you will get used to it.
yeah.
It's not a big thing, honestly. Maybe
Yeah,
in the start it was kind of shocking for me too, but after a while I felt, oh, it's not a big thing. No
yeah, you're
threats,
right.
nothing happening, and everything is perfect. All right.
Yeah,
Specifically
exactly.
for Yale University, I'm sure.
I
Um,
mean, I don't think that they can do anything about it because it's kind of a problem of the city. And around the campus is safe, definitely. Even at night, there is Yale police, specifically Yale security, and nothing happens around the campus. Which is, if you go far, if you go investigate the city in the
uh-huh.
middle of the night, something might happen.
Yeah, I heard about places like Detroit or Baltimore, but it's the
Yeah,
first time I'm hearing someone talking about criminals in New Haven, which is
I
interest.
mean, it's a city. It
Yeah,
happens.
yeah. How many population does New Haven have?
Uh, I don't know.
Is
There
it
was a
big city?
survey back in 2016. They said it's 100,000, around
Oh,
100 to 140,000
it's pretty
people.
small.
Yeah, but maybe right now it it grew to a number around 200,000 or something. But it's small.
Do we call it college town?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's
Yeah.
bigger than a college town, but it's not that populated. So, I mean, I'm
Okay,
new. I
interesting.
don't know. I'll have to ask around.
Interesting. So you are mechanical engineering,
Yep,
first year PhD.
yep.
So tell us about your resume. What was
Mm,
your stats to get
uh,
into Yale?
yeah. So I studied mechanical engineering in University of Tehran, and I had I think my final GPA was 17.6, and I wasn't like the rank one in my cohort, so I wouldn't say regarding the GPA, it was something very exceptional. However, in my third year of undergrad, I joined a lab as an undergrad research assistant, and I tried my best to exploit the opportunities in that lab, and I think I got lucky to participate in a group consisted of people that are really passionate about those research. So it finally uh, resulted in two papers that at the time that I was applying to grad schools in US, they weren't published, they were under review, but I think the fact that I contributed to those papers, that I could talk about them passionately and I was dominant about the subject. So the fact that I could talk about them in those interviews got some potential advisors really interested in my resume and application. And one of them was my current advisor at Yale. And I mean, maybe I got lucky. Maybe if I tried 10 more times, I wouldn't have gotten to Yale. But yeah, that is a brief thing about my resume.
Okay,
Um,
so
yeah,
yeah, great. Just just a brief explanation about the university you talked about, University of Tehran. University of
yeah,
Tehran is one of top two, three schools in engineering. We have University of Sharif University of Technology. We have
yeah,
University of Tehran. We have Amir Kabir University of Technology and two, three other schools which are famous for
yeah,
engineering major in Iran. And yeah,
exactly.
being in Tehran is really, uh, I think, making your resume looks stronger and better. And because of the opportunities you can get while you're studying at Tehran, you can collaborate with other labs. You have more chance to get involved in research and get more
Mm,
publications if you are really interested and
yeah,
passionate about doing something for your PhD. And I gave this explanation because it may look a little bit strange for people how undergrad can publish two, three papers. In the US, we also have that. Some students involving with research with other labs, helping grad students, making figures, polishing figures, data, helping with writing, even running experiments for them and putting their names beside their name in the publication. So that's
Um, can I add something on that?
sure.
Because I mean, it took like 2 years. I when I entered the lab, I think it took me 2 years to get into a level to be able to write academically and publish the paper. And I wasn't just contributing to plotting the figures or just justifying some results. It was basically my idea and my friend's idea to actually go and work on this. And the people in the lab helped us to kind of uh, build an experimental setup around that, around those ideas. So most of the things were done by two undergrads, and I think it's doable for someone that wants to do it and puts the effort and time into that. So, and yeah, I think being in a good or top university in Iran also helps. But I've seen people that graduated from other maybe um, not that prestigious universities in Iran, but are really good at research and they did it themselves. And I think what makes the difference at the end is that when you get that interview and you go and talk with that advisor, you show them that you know what you've done. I've seen people that they publish like 10 papers, but when they go to the interview and they want to talk about it, it's totally obvious that their contribution to those papers weren't that significant and they don't know what they're talking about. And people here, they are smart. They will understand from the moment that you start talking about the things and how you answer the questions. So, yeah, even the small projects that you do as your final projects of a course, it makes a difference. Uh, if you did them yourself, if you did those extra bits in those projects and just went on to investigate them further, this could actually be a significant thing as well. I don't think that they care if you publish those results or not, but if you did some things and you have some skills that is useful for their lab, um, just wanted to say that everyone
Yeah,
can get into top schools.
yeah, I agree with your point because I'm seeing how my, for example, PI do interviews with the students, and what they care most is can you do and contribute to research in the lab, and does your skill match with what they gonna do? For
Yeah,
example, some professors winning grants and they want specific skills for running that project. And if you're the person matches with that grant, you will
yeah,
have the greatest chance to get into that program.
exactly.
So yeah, that's definitely true. How about your TOEFL or IELTS score?
Uh, I took IELTS like 2 years ago, and my overall score was 8. Should I go through each band or?
Maybe just speaking?
uh, Speaking, I got an 8, but I was unlucky. They were talking about traditional Iranian costumes that I cannot even talk about in Persian, so I got really stuck in that, and I don't know. But at the
Yeah,
end, I think it was good. It was a good score.
8 is also
Yeah,
perfect for
thank you.
IELTS. Yeah, they
Yeah.
rarely give this score to people in IELTS. Yeah, you're one of the rarest people I see with this.
No, 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 no. I've seen people get a perfect 9. And, it really depends. I don't think of it. But then again, seriously, when you go to interviews or when the committee wants to assess, I'm hearing this when I came here, so I didn't know about this stuff. I thought that your IELTS score will make a huge difference. But even if I got a lower IELTS score, they would have um, accepted me anyways. But I might have, you know, mm, had to participate in a mandatory English course or something. But it
Hmm.
wouldn't made a huge difference.
Yeah, I think the point is you can communicate. You
Yeah,
can do good interviews. You can transfer the knowledge you have.
Exactly.
That's the most important part of it. Yeah, I agree again with what you say then. The point is not everything. Even if you have nine, you have a chance to get rejected if you don't have
Exactly.
knowledge in your area. So did you take GRE also, or
At the time, there was this very weird rule in this department specifically. None of the other departments at Yale wanted GRE, but mechanical engineering out of nowhere just they gave me a conditional acceptance after that,
oh,
and my advisor told me that yeah, this is not logical that they are asking this, but just go and take a GRE. We don't care about the score, just present something. And yeah, I don't know, I studied for 2 days. I took an exam and presented my score. It wasn't good. It was like three 316, 18, something like that.
that's good.
Yeah, but
It's good
again,
for
they
three
didn't care
days.
about it. It's just yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
they just want to see you took this
Yeah,
exam.
but
That's it.
but since then they removed that rule. Now
It
I
was
don't
just
think.
for you.
Yeah, exactly. They just
Shervin is
wanted to.
coming, force him to take
Exactly.
exam.
Wanted
Okay,
me
I'm
to pay
happy you
two
did it.
hundred dollars for that exam.
I see. Yeah, the money was really expensive.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, yeah, finally, you're here at Yale University, one
Thank
of
you.
the best schools in the US, and I'm really proud of
Thank
you
you very
as
much.
Iranian to see you here
Thank
in
you
the
very much.
US. And yeah, that's great. So, Sherwin, 3 months ago, you entered to the US. How was the feeling?
Um, I was kind of numb. I was like, you know, I think you already know that, but it took 14 months for my visa to get approved. So I got an admission for fall 2023, and you know, I postponed that for fall 2024, and I really got disappointed because at the time, is last year these times they weren't approving anything, so I was kind of hopeless, and I was applying to other schools. But when I got here finally, I didn't know what to feel exactly because. It took me so long that when I came here, I wasn't feeling anything. But I think after a while, now I'm understanding the difference. I'm getting more happier. Just in contrary to the general belief that when you come, you're very happy and then you'll get sad when you get used to it. I think it was totally opposite for me. When I came, I was kind of sad. I wasn't feeling anything, but now it's getting better. I'm seeing the difference, seeing that I'm studying and they are paying me. It's something that yeah, it's making a
Yeah,
huge difference. But at the time when I entered, I wasn't that happy.
I see. Yeah, I totally understand. And I believe the more you spend the more time you spend in the US, the more excited you get in the
Yeah,
future. By
exactly.
time, if I explain my 4 years I've been in the US, I think life is getting better and better and better because you
Yeah,
know more about the system. You getting more used to it. You know
yeah,
the tricks, how to live, how to have good life. And the start of PhD, you have a lot of challenges. You have new
yeah,
projects coming on. You have to boost your background. You have to study a lot. And the first year, I can tell, is the hardest. But after that, you get in, um, the life is getting really better, and you will see it in 3 months. Maybe in 6 months, after a year, you will get a little bit homesick. You will feel, oh, I wish I was home to see my family and all that. But after a while, after the first year, everything getting really good, and
thank
after
you.
that, everything is perfect. And since you're in one of the best schools, it will be super exciting and better for you too, because you will see great future after
Yeah,
graduation, which the students, the graduates, getting into really good places. That
yeah,
that kind of things will make you more motivated, more excited to see the future of after
yeah, exactly.
graduation life. And so about the visa part, I think that's hard, specifically when you have a good admission from university like Yale.
Yeah,
You're waiting for getting that visa, starting your life, and it's sometimes it's disappointing to see you're not getting your visa. and because you are from specific countries, because we
Yeah,
are just students, we're coming to do research to help um, people, and that's the only thing we care, right? And
exactly.
I think it will be better if we can get a little bit faster process of visa
Yeah, I
processing.
mean,
So
even when I talk about these kind of stuff with the people around me at Yale, nobody really believes me when I tell them that I have a single entrance visa and I cannot go back home and see my family till further notice. Like they say, "What? What
yeah,
is that? What kind of visa is that?" But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's like this for us. I mean, and at the end of the day, what makes it really weird is that after 14 months, they approved me. So there were nothing wrong with my application and many other applications of Iranian. They're just taking their time to do nothing, and
yeah,
that's unfortunate.
yeah. That's really, I don't know, that's happening. Okay, so Shervin, how many schools did you apply beside Yale?
So at the time when I was applying, I applied to 18 different schools at US, two in Europe, and two in Canada. Uh, I mean, I didn't pay the application fee. I was basically looking at the universities that waive the application fee and then proceed to apply. But before I make a decision to apply to what school, I knew and I made sure that I have high chances of getting admission. There were some schools that I just blindly applied, like Caltech and Harvard, and I got rejected, obviously. But um, for for other schools, I make sure that I contact the potential advisor and ask for their opinion or maybe set up an interview. And I was pretty successful in those universities. Um, do you
So
want me to?
how many admissions did you get at the end?
I think like 10 admissions in
Oh my
USA,
gosh.
two admissions in Canada, and one in Europe, EPFL. But yeah, I
Okay, you got all
rejected them all.
good schools.
I mean, my application on the paper wasn't looking that good, but when I got the interviews and I talked about the things that I know and I answered the questions, it made a difference. For me, it was this. But before that, I don't think that if someone looks at my application, will tell this guy is very significant or something.
I think you're modest. Getting 10 schools at US, including Yale, is it means you have something, definitely. So,
Yeah,
what do you think is the best strategy to increase the chance of
to
admission to schools?
mm, well, first of all, there are two strategies, I think. Um, Maybe people don't want to hear this, or I don't know, it sounds really weird, but one of them is bulk emailing. Basically, email as much as professors as you can. Someone might actually reach back to you instead of an interview. And if you do that, you probably don't have to work on your application and you'll get in easily. But um, another thing is to make sure that the department you're applying and the potential advisors that their lab might get you, your chances of getting into their lab, like you compare your skill set with the required skill set of that lab, and you will go check the lab's activity and the recent publications of that lab. And you see that they are an active lab, constantly recruiting new PhD students each year. So you kind of make sure that this lab is recruiting. And then you will reach out to the advisor, you will reach out to the lab manager or lab supervisor, and you will ask them if they will recruit for the next cycle. Most of the top universities, they won't give you any interviews. Professors will instantly reject you or they don't reach you back. Even if you like send them 10 reminders, they won't contact you. But some of them, a few of them, will tell a brief opinion about your application, or tell if they are recruiting for the next cycle, or if they are generous, they will tell what other professors at the department or the university that match your skill set are recruiting for the next cycle. So that way you know what potential advisors to aim for, and then in your SOP, in your resume and everything, you will modify things, your projects, your research interests in a way that captures their attention. Because at the end of the day, it's the whole package that they will see. And in competitive universities, it's just two cycles of filtration that they do. The first is just this is what I hear. They will just send the applications to fourth or fifth year PhDs, and they will filter them out. And then a committee will just go around and see the whole package. So I would say contact the professors is one of the ways that you can increase your chance. And bulk emailing a lot of professors would also increase your chance of getting an interview. And I'm talking about 1,000 emails or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
about the bulk emails, you mean you don't have to write specific email based on the interest and skills and papers that you read from specific professor and making that email special for that person. And you're just
Yeah.
writing one template, general thing, which can be applied for many professors. You're
Yeah.
changing some parts, maybe one sentence, two sentences.
Yeah. But then again, don't be forceful in that email. Don't ask them for interviews. Just, you're an interested person. Obviously, we all are. And you're just asking whether they have a position available, whether they're recruiting for the next cycle. And if they respond, then you can reply with a more specific or a more, I don't know, purposeful email to get their attention, or set up an interview, or just ask whether your chances of admission is high or not. This is because some of the professors, even if you email them, even if you spend hours to write an email to them, they will not reach back. And there is a limited time when you want to apply to grad schools. So that way it wouldn't be easy. But then again, you can look up, there are so many channels in Telegram and LinkedIn you can look up that will show you the available positions. And for those professors that are announcing publicly, we have available positions, yeah, you will definitely go and write an email specifically customized for their line of work. So yeah, this is what I would tell you.
Okay, one more question about the details of your strategy.
Mm-hmm.
For finding you need to find professors and then email the target professors that you
Yeah.
added to your list. How was the process for that? You were first searching professors, making a list of like 500 professors and then starting sending them email, or you were finding professors, sending email, and then finding professors, sending email to save more time? And how long usually does it take?
I would say you make a list of the universities that you want to go, the ones that appeals to you, and then probably the departments that might suit you. For me, specifically, I would have applied to chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, environmental engineering, because all of those engineering majors, you might find some advisors that have some sort of an alignment with your research interest. For me, it was fluid mechanics. So I would have found professors in different departments that would match my skill set. And I will definitely, I'm sorry that I'm going, sideways, but I just wanted to tell people that do not limit yourself to apply to the department that you studied in your undergrad or your master's. This should not be a limitation for you. Go look up all the departments, because you might find professors that match your research interests in a physics department, in a chemistry department. And I've seen that. The people work with these people, and yeah, do not limit yourself. So that apart, so you will go and just open that department, go through the faculty, open their lab website, go to their Google Scholar, and you will see if what they're doing is kind of matched with the things that you want to do or you did in the past. Even if it is something that you want to do in the future, I don't think that um, there is a problem with that. You can just tell them that you are interested and you want to change like the course of your research. So that way you don't even have to make a list because you'll simultaneously go find the
Hmm.
professor, write an email, and then it's done. If they reach back to you, yeah, you will make a list of the professors that reach back to you and somehow analyze. But what's the point in making a 500 like line Excel of the professors that you want to email? It will take days to make that list. And it changes constantly. If someone is there to give you a list of 500 potential advisors that you can contact, it's for the last cycle. They probably recruited the PhD students that they wanted, so that might not be that useful to you. So don't make a list if you're asking me. Just go through the department, finish it, and then you're you're done. You're done. The emails are gone. If they reach back to you, if something happened, it's okay.
Yeah,
This is the strategy for contacting the professors, though. If you want to blindly apply to a school that you are sure 100% nobody will reach back to you, maybe you can create a list of the professors that might recruit you, and then based on that, modify your SOP and your application.
yeah, that was a perfect answer. What if the professor does not reply to me? How many days after the first email you did send reminders if you did that?
Um, it really depends,
Were you
because
sending reminders at all?
yeah, I was sending reminders. When you come here and you see a daily routine of a professor, I would say that schedule your reminders or your emails for noon, because in the morning they are not in the mood of checking their emails. Even me, I'm kind of frustrated in the morning to see like
Hmm.
17 new emails that I have to go through. So I kind of understand them. They'll open their emails and it's 100 new emails. But at noon, I think it's good. And schedule them for Friday or, yeah, Friday, Thursday, that time. Because they probably are not teaching in those days. So they have more free time to look into their emails. I didn't do that myself. I'm just telling you that this is a better way of doing it. At the end of the day, it might not make a difference for a professor that goes through his emails, that constantly answers everyone and
Hmm.
checks the emails. But I'm talking about the ones that are not really interested in checking their emails, and I've seen these people uh, just here. It doesn't matter how many reminders you send them, they won't reply. No strategy will apply to them. So yeah, I don't really know what I did for the reminders and if they really made a difference. But what I know, one thing I did was that for the professors that reached back to me and told me to apply to the department, I would have replied with this answer that we came up with my friend. Or no, he came up with that idea. So he said, I want to specifically apply to your lab and I want to maximize my chances of getting admission in your lab. So would you, be interested in knowing my background or something? And that worked sometimes, you know? There
No,
were
that's a great,
occasions,
great answer, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah, that's really great.
yeah,
You can get a feedback how the professor
yeah,
feels about your
exactly.
email. If he's just sent something template, he's not interested, and he wanted to make you to apply to the school, you may
Yeah,
not hear
exactly.
back anything. But if he's interested, yeah, we'll say, yeah, definitely. It would
Exactly.
be great
And
if you
that's what I
share.
say. is
Hmm.
specifically mention what you want from the professor. Just don't go through your resume. I'm this person. I did this. I did that. Ask them the question that you want to ask. Do you have a position available? Do you think that I'm a good fit, or would you be able to recruit new PhD students? I'm interested in this and that. So that way you force them to kind of answer you. And if they don't want to recruit you, they'll say there's no available position and you will move on from that.
Yeah, perfect. So, Shervin, I want to move this topic to more personal questions.
Yeah,
I think
sorry.
we answered really great questions about the academic and the apply process to schools. I'm
Yeah.
more interested to know more about your personal side of life. And my first question is about the strongest character you have. What made Sherwin to be successful and get into Yale University?
Um, I wouldn't call myself successful in the first place. Please, names don't make someone successful. Please, don't say that yet. But I would say what made the difference was the fact that I got stuck with a problem so that I know every aspect of the problem, not to just solve it. And this is one of my, personalities. I get really frustrated even if I solve a problem, a coding challenge or something, um, and I don't know every aspect of it. It's kind of frustrating for me. So I think in research it helps for the people that are curious to know everything, every part. Even there was this career fair that AMD held, and some representative came from AMD, a manager or something, and he said what made the difference for him was this: he was curious about everything. He wanted to know every part of the process, from material science to hardware and everything. And that's what made him to be a good manager or get this position at AMD. So I think it's also applicable to research in your study. You will have to go through details. You have to pick something that you really love and investigate everything about it. And I've seen people do this. I don't think, unfortunately, in Iran, due to a lot of conditions, we are, available. We have the opportunity to do this. Maybe, I don't know. But here, I see so many Americans and international students that are really passionate about the little details of their research. They get goosebumps when they talk about it. And it's not like that you see graduate students in Iran that talk about their like research like this. So it makes a difference going through details.
Yeah. So when you have deadline, you're stressed out. What is the best technique for you to relieve the stress?
Oh my god. Uh, mm,
Some people sleep, some people go walk. I don't know, some people
mm,
listen music, or some people have really strange strategies.
oh, well, I have a problem with that. I would have definitely used some advice, but
You don't do anything?
um,
Maybe
if
you're
I
doing
get
something, but it's not getting anywhere, right?
let me I definitely choose a place that I can concentrate and I can see a progress in what I'm doing. I get really stressed out if I'm not seeing any progress. I have a deadline and I'm not doing anything. I'm spending time and I'm not doing anything. So that's my problem. I don't get stressed about the deadlines if I can make it. But then when you know that you might not even make it, I don't think that I can do anything about it. Sometimes I just
You have to
miss
deal
the
with it.
deadline. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the
can I
point.
use some advice from you?
It honestly, I can tell what I usually do. Um, at the start, I didn't have really um, more relaxed life. I can tell it was a lot
Yeah,
of challenges, And what I usually have done in the past, recently I don't have any stress and I don't care honestly. My life
Oh
is
my God.
100% with no stress. But in
Yeah.
the past, I used to go run. My lights went off,
Yeah.
I think. Let me just, because the sensor. Yeah. I was doing two, three tricks. The first one um, was trying to be active as much as I can.
Yeah.
For example, I was waking up in the morning, I wasn't in the mood, I was feeling tired. I was telling myself, Harry, don't think about anything. Just pick your bottle of
Uh,
water, put your AirPods, and go and run. I was doing that, and it was working all the time. And this is one of the best techniques. I still do that, but
you were
to
right.
just be active, not to getting rid of stress. As I said, I don't have any stresses these days. And the second one, when I am really burned out and I cannot do even I cannot move. Sometimes this is happening too, because of some conditions you may experience in life, specifically as an immigrant.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is no solution, and you're completely stuck. That in
You're
that
right.
cases, I usually sleep. Try to not think
Oh.
about anything. I
Oh yeah.
prefer to sleep and wake up to see what's gonna happen next. And another thing, which one of undergrads told me when I did interview with her, she was a student in criminology at UT Dallas, and she told me
Wow.
I usually make a plan to have all the details of the next steps of my
Okay.
plan. And when I have plan, I'm looking at it, it makes me more calm and relaxed. And I believe that can definitely help when you have all your stuff on the paper. Writing is one of the interesting and more efficient way to deal with the stress you have. Yeah, I think these techniques are the main ones that I think can help. And in my
Yep.
interviews, also many students answered, in including these strategies that I explained. Fly. Yeah,
uh,
that was my
Now that you
answer. So,
mention it, yeah. Now that you mention it, I think I'm doing the same about the activity. When I wake up, I'm
hmm
kind of bummed out about everything and I can't do anything. But then I'll tell myself to start your day. Don't think about anything. Take it step by step. Just, yeah, that helps. And I go to the office 24/7. I definitely advise people if they're kind of depressed, they can't work in the home, just don't stay in home. Don't stay at home. Just go to the office, go to a library, try different libraries in the university. That makes a help. That kind of makes you a bit more motivated.
that's yeah, that's definitely good idea. I think I shared something in my Instagram and I
Exactly,
told
exactly. You
people,
shared this.
please leave home. Don't stay
Exactly,
home. Home will significantly decrease your efficiency. And
exactly.
this is happening to me a lot. When I'm in the school from early morning until late night, when I'm back in home, coming back home, I'm checking to see what I've done so far. And I'm thinking huge difference in comparison to the day that I was home and I was working still. But the
Yeah,
progress is there is no way you can compare being home and being
exactly.
out of home. Sometime I even go to coffee shops. I found really good and nice places that I go and connect my laptop to power and start working. Get one chai latte, which is my favorite drink, and just focus on my research when specifically I don't have any experimental work and I need to generate to work on my figures, writings, and that kind of things is really helpful. And in the US, I think the culture have it. You see a lot of
Exactly.
students going to coffee shops and study in in those places, which at start was shocking for me. How people go and study in coffee shop.
Yeah,
We usually go coffee shop for dates, seeing people, talk, hang
exactly.
out, not for doing research or studying. But here is really acceptable and one of the most efficient way to increase your efficiency.
Exactly.
So, Sherwin, one more question. When
Yep.
you feel sad, what you do?
Oh my God.
I
It's funny you should ask this. I'm
okay.
in a real weird situation right now. I'm kind of depressed because, obviously, as an Iranian, you come here, you see all of these differences, you sacrifice a lot of stuff, and at the beginning, you're not benefiting from the things that America has to offer. So, yeah, me and I think most of my friends, we're kind of depressed. And uh, generally, the way I do it, the way I tackle this is the exact same thing that I tackle the stress management you told. So I try to just keep it short, not think about the future, just think about the moment. I go to the gym regularly to kind of get rid of these thoughts. And I think just seeing people and doing some activity, not thinking about what is happening right now, will help to get rid of the moments that you're really sad. But then again, some moments it really hits and you can't do anything but to cry. I mean, you can cry and it helps. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I think it's a natural reaction. To if you hold it in, that would be destructive. If you hold your thoughts in, if you do not talk with someone, I never believed in therapy. I I don't know. I somehow
It's
thought that
typical Iranian thing, right?
yeah, exactly.
We
But
rarely
then
believe in
again,
that.
exactly. But then again, even if you go there and you talk about your problems, you talk about it with your friends, like you get used to it. It will go away. But if you hold it in, um, it will make your life a misery. And don't do that.
Yeah,
Just talk about it. Yeah.
I agree. Talking can help. And I know you just entered to the US, and one of
Yeah.
the challenges students usually have is communication and finding new friends. How was that for you? How it's been going so far?
Mm, I don't know. What do you call a friend, though? I mean, here, friend is someone that checks on you and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then, or I don't know, you might go and study for 1 or 2 hours together. But I don't know. In Iran, there's a traditional definition of friend that you spend a lot of time together. I haven't found a person like that. But as for people that I know, I think there are quite a lot of people that I know, and I say hi. But I don't feel that comfortable talking to them. That's why I went to therapy. So, and it's also another thing. So, graduate life is way more isolated in comparison to undergrads. They live at dorms that like make them interact with each other, and their community consists of people that kind of match. I don't know how this happens, but they make really great friends in the beginning. And for graduate students, not only my problem, there are other people around here. It's kind of difficult. You have to go and investigate the clubs that your university have, the events that they hold for graduate students. The international office might help with that. I haven't had the time personally, but I think if I go and investigate the resources, I would find it easier to interact with new people. It's not hard. They know that this problem exists for international students, and all the universities, not Yale, all of them, have an international office. That one of the things that they do is to make you interact with each other. Me personally, I haven't had any close friends here yet.
Yeah, sometime I'm feeling bad for ourselves as a PhD student, graduates. When we're coming, we see a huge portion of the schools for grad schools are internationals, and a lot of them are busy with research. They don't have enough time in the first place to spend with each other. And even if you can manage your time, it's hard to find another person who can make it. So at the end of the day, you just coming up that I have to deal with this, and
Exactly.
you stay alone with yourself and live your your life, or go into more public places, bars, coffee shops, and start to talk to people. And I think this is one of the biggest challenges for international students. As you said, in undergrad life, it is easier because your undergrad in classes you have 50, 100 students
Exactly.
involving in projects, you making different groups, starting talking to each other, doing homework together. But in PhD, in masters even, we don't have that opportunity to involve
Exactly.
in different research groups and that kind of things, which makes life a little bit challenging and sometimes more depressing. And yeah, I think knowing that maybe can help for other students who come and can think about it to how to deal with that. So, Shervin, how many hours do you study on average,
Um,
or you do research?
there is a basic like 15 hours a week dedicated towards research. That's always on there on my schedule. Can't do anything about it. If I don't spend that time, I wouldn't be able to um, meet the deadlines that I have with my advisor. That's that. But regarding the courses, I would say it really depends. It's not that rigorous. Graduate courses are easier than I thought, and if you just spend the minimum amount of time that you did in your undergrad to study them, look at the resources, do the homeworks, it's pretty easy and manageable. So like maybe 2 to 3 hours for each course that I took. The problem is that I'm taking so many courses this semester. 4 courses alongside a special investigation, they call it. That is basically the work that I do with my advisor. But they officially put that into the transcripts and they call it special investigation. So,
I see. Yeah, and since you did undergrad and you direct PhD, you will require to pass more courses in
exactly.
comparison to master students who got into PhD.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is about your sleeping hours. How many hours do you sleep on average daily?
Uh,
Because I'm asking this because I'm seeing really strange numbers for grad students. I have a friend who sleeps 1 hour or 2 hours on average every day,
wow.
which is scary. I- I've
No.
done 2 hours for 2 hours, 3 hours on average, but for 2 months I couldn't keep doing it because I felt
Wow.
I'm dying, and I stopped it. Please go sleep. It's not worth it.
No. Like, there are exceptional days that I don't sleep at all, but then the day after I'm done with the deadline or the presentation, I go and get a 10-hour sleep. And on average, I would say that I'll get more than 7. If I don't get that, I'll be tired. I can't do anything. Seriously. If I do an average of 2 hours of sleep, no. For 2 months, you said?
Yeah,
How did you manage that? Oh my god, no.
I'm telling you, it was sometime it was more experimental stuff I was doing in the lab, and because I
Oh,
was coming back, I have to work on my YouTube and that kind of things. I was spending whole
oh,
midnight for working on videos, making content, and that kind of things. So, but after 2 months, I felt okay, I'm gonna die soon. I have to stop this somewhere. And I say, okay, I have a friend who was talking me about a technique that you can live 6 months with no sleeping even. But this can happen when there is war or something like that. I was planning to make a video for that. There is a technique, I don't
what?
remember the name. You starting the whole process takes 1 year, but after 1 year you can manage your sleep hours in a way that you can sleep 1 hour per day or 2 hours per day,
Wow.
whatever you want, whatever is your plan to sleep. And I may make a video for that to let people know how it works. But it is not good definitely for your health because we need specific hours of sleep to be more efficient and more
Exactly.
focused on what we're doing.
Mm,
But yeah, I've seen really strange stuff, and
well,
this
definitely
is
get your
happening.
sleep, 7 to 8 hours. No, 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 don't do this. If you're
Yeah,
not, if you don't have to, don't do it. Why? But you apparently you have a lot of stuff that you have to do, and you're working on everything simultaneously. But please, if you're a PhD student listening to this and you don't have to, like,
yeah.
do this, okay?
Sleep well, and enjoy your time.
Yeah,
You shouldn't kill yourself for yeah
exactly.
for getting your PhD. And yeah. So Shervin, what do you think is the most important thing for someone in life? Do you have any red flags, any green flags? I asked this question from the previous student. He was undergrad in MIT, and he didn't
Oh my
answer.
God.
He told me I cannot answer this question. This is too hard. Any, maybe any red flags in your academic life, if you don't want to answer in general. For
Mm,
some people have specific, how can I explain it? You have something that some mindset, some kind of um,
red flags in
behaviors or
academic life, you mean, like,
yeah, red flags in
yeah.
academic life. If you have in general also, I'm happy to hear it.
Like, okay, I think one of the things that really overwhelms me every time is the fact that I'm a bit delusional. Let me expand on that. I have very high expectations from myself, and it's not working out in real life. I always I've always seen myself in a place way higher than the reality. So it never helps. You have to live in the moment. You have to see the reality. There are limited amount of skills that you have and you can acquire throughout the life. So don't do that. Just set rational milestones for yourself. I'm doing this, and while I'm talking about it, I have those high expectations. And it's not making life easy for me personally. I'm constantly comparing myself with that thing, and it's not working out. Maybe if I would have discretized my, you know, um, ideal version into different steps to be able to take it step by step and reach there, it would have helped. But yeah, that's one thing is not helping. The other red flag, I haven't actually thought about this before. You know, I'm sorry that I'm taking so long and giving these vague answers, but
That's a great answer,
uh,
honestly. And I think it is a hard question.
yeah,
We
it's
usually
kind
ask
of
red
hard.
flags. What is red flags in your partner, or what kind of
No, no, no,
red
yeah, you're
flags do you
right.
have? But I think it helps when you set some criteria for yourself in your
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. You do.
but
I
it's
mean,
hard.
yeah, exactly. It's hard to manage it. You'll have to m- manage these thoughts. Yeah, there is an ideal version of yourself that you could have been, but then
Hmm.
again, if you think about it a lot, what difference does it make to compare yourself to other people, which is not a healthy thing to do at all. You know, the only difference is that there is an imaginary person that you're comparing yourself with. So it could be destructive if you keep doing that. But then again, as you mentioned, a level of that to keeps you motivated and get you going is good. Another thing, what can I say?
Yeah, while you're thinking, I'm gonna tell my red flag that I
Yeah,
reached
okay.
it in this 4 years of living in the US. At the start, I think I explained I was stressful, I was fighting every day and night to just make everything good, work out. But at the end, I don't know what happened suddenly. I reached to this conclusion in my life. I said to myself, Harry, you have to work hard, and that is what you can do. And don't care about the results, what's going to happen
Exactly.
next. These days I'm working, I'm trying hard, I'm doing my best, and I don't care what's gonna be the output of it. It is good to have results, to have output, but it's out of my control. I'm running projects. I spent whole Saturday from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. to running experiment, and I got really good results. And even with no good results, I was happy because I spent that
Exactly.
time for my research. And if it didn't work out, it's not my fault. I tried my best. I read papers. I do all those steps based on the protocols that I prepared. This is what I can do. And if it's not going in a perfect way, it's out of my
Exactly.
control. We shouldn't blame ourselves for a thing which is out of our control. That's one of the most important thing I learned in this 4 years of living in the US. And I'm just feeling really good after that. I don't have any stress. My life is really perfect. And I don't have really great life, but I'm happy with it. And I think this is one of the most important thing I wished. And don't get stressed out for something that is out of your control. Try your best. And this is my red flag. That's why I'm asking this question to see if someone has reached something that they can share with us. Because this stuff are really important. It has a lot of experiences behind it. And
Now that you mention it, first of all, thank you very much for sharing that. But
of
based
course,
on what you said, I think I can also add something that I'm kind of moody when it comes to getting things done. So what I mean by that is, I don't know, it's kind of a fight between me being motivated and demotivated, and that really affects the amount of time and effort that I put into something. So when I'm motivated, you see me working like 8 hours straight, and when I'm demotivated, oh my god, it's just not working out. So don't be like this. I mean, I'm learning that no matter how you feel, just start the things, and exactly what you mentioned. This motivation will just give you a kickstart at the beginning, but then in the process, whether you're motivated or not motivated, it doesn't make a difference. There have been days that I forced myself to do some stuff and get something done, and I was not motivated at all. I wasn't in the mood to do anything that day, but I'd done things that I wouldn't have done in the days that I was this high. I was very motivated about this stuff. So it doesn't make a difference in your performance whether you're motivated to do something or not. Don't be like that. Don't be moody. I think that's I'm telling this to myself right now, and this is my red flag. I'm working on it.
yeah, that's a great point. I agree. Sometimes you're not in the mood to do something, and you're spending all day in your bed and wasting your time, and you have the same story happening on the other day, but this time you're jumping out of your bed and you're going to work and doing some stuff. And when you come back home at the end, you compare these two conditions, you see the mood is the same, right? But one
Exactly.
time you stayed in your bed, and one time you get out of your bed and do some works. And
Exactly.
you see the second one was definitely better, and you got a lot of things done, which is
Exactly.
yeah, first needs a little bit of effort, but at the end you will be happy with that,
Exactly.
and you will
Exactly.
feel happy about yourself. Yeah, that's so true. So, Shervin, I think we're reaching to the end of conversation. It was
Mhm.
so nice talking to you as
Thank
an
you.
Iranian first, as a friend, and secondly as one of
Thank you
the
very much.
nice students and uh, students from Yale. So I love Yale
Thank you.
University. So it's
Thank
one
you
of
very
my
much.
favorite schools. And the last thing from your side, if there is anything I've missed, you want to talk to students, uh, we'll be happy to
Uh,
hear that.
I think I just wanted to tell people, if you want to apply to a graduate program, to a PhD program, most specifically for Iranian students that are looking for fully funded positions, there are two things that are the most important things. Do not care about the names, do not care about anything, just care about the potential advisor that you're probably going to work with and the city and the environment, because these are the stuff. that consists 99% of your life in US. Doesn't matter if you're at Yale but feeling down, not motivated to work with someone, or if you're in some unknown university but you're working with someone that is passionate about helping you, you guys work well together, and that advisor will help you reach stuff that you wouldn't have reached if you were studying at Harvard, but your advisor is not helping you. So care about that, care about your advisor, care about the city that you live in, the community that you might have there. I mean, it's kind of hard, but I'm talking about this for the people that have multiple options. For someone that has one position, yeah, don't think about it. Just come here, you'll figure it out. But for the people that are stuck between different positions, definitely think about this.
Yeah, that was a great advice. I loved it.
Thank
Thank you, Shervin, again, and thank you for watching us. Please subscribe and like the video if you liked
you.
it, and
Absolutely.
wait for coming videos. And have a great day or night, and see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
Bye.